and that's how I remember things. But it helps if
Cool.
I can record because I can't catch every word in my notes. So, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's good
So,
to finally meet you.
yeah, you too. So, I want to make sure that we connect our energy, yours, mine, with the God of your understanding. And so, there's two things I would like to do before we start our conversation. The first one is we're going to take three long, slow, deep breaths together, just like I do at the beginning of my show. Breathe in through the nose and think the words I am. Breathe out through the mouth and think the word consciousness. I'll remind you when we get to that. And then I have an intention that I wrote. I always point at my heart when I say intention. And it's just like typing into a spiritual GPS. This is
Okay.
where we're choosing to go and how we choose to feel along the way. And then we're going to hold that in silence for 78 seconds, which can feel like an eternity for those 78 seconds. So, what you do, what I found works for me, and I invite you to do this too, pick two or three words out of the intention that just feel great. They feel like high vibration, like, yeah, this is what I want. And just repeat those two or three words over and over again to yourself during the 78 seconds of silence. And then notice what happens with your body. You might get goosebumps or a rush of heat, or an image might come in. That's just a sign that the divine is in full alignment, has got the direction for you, and they're ready to play, and our conversation is ready to begin. Any questions?
No, let's do it.
Cool. Okay, let's start with those three long, slow, deep breaths. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. In love and light, we are so happy and grateful that we receive, understand, and implement divine guidance. So we enjoy happy, vibrantly healthy, prosperous lives. Thank you, divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done.
Thank you, Divine.
We give thanks, and so it is. That was really cool. Oh, did something come through for you?
Um, I was just meditating on my intentions. Um, I don't know. What should I be expecting?
Nothing. It's just
Nothing.
being open and willing to receive whatever comes through as the perfect guidance for you. And it was very interesting. I got an image of a mirror and the message, as we heal within, we heal everything on the outside too. So it's a both and, nothing is ever wasted. and everything is always designed to be a blessing for you. Now, sadly, sometimes blessings of growth don't feel that great. But in truth, when you look back on it, you'll go, wow, that prompted me to change in a whole new way. And life is completely different and so much better now. So tell me a little bit about your current situation, what's going on, and where you are right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, this year has been a very interesting, tough year for me. Um, and so, like one of the reasons why I really enjoyed what you say and your story and all that is because I like believe it so firmly. And in fact, I've like had experiences where when I hear people like you talk about it, it's like, oh, okay, that's what it's called. I was doing certain things like that, but I didn't understand exactly how to define it or put like a definition to it. It was just things that I was naturally doing. And I've heard God's voice before. Like I usually find myself having a very strong intuition, and I don't know if it's just me or but it's like sometimes I'll get a text message and I'll already know who it is.
Hmm.
I'll get a
Hmm.
phone call and it's like it hits me like it's that
Hmm.
person. It
Hmm.
is. Even yesterday, I had a thought of like somebody just popped in my head. It was a friend of mine that lives in Naples. And I'm like, I'm gonna call him right now. And I called him and he's like, dude, I was just thinking like it happens to
Yeah.
me all the time. And like usually I have like this energy pull and I like sort of like I just have this gravitational pulls in specific directions and so on. But like sometimes when I'm doing like business deals, like it just like God will speak to me where um like when I'm buying property, it's like, this is yours. And I have this peace, like it's done.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I'm gonna have it. I don't know how, it doesn't matter, but I'm gonna go for it and I'm gonna get it. And there's times when I don't get that feeling either. And I still get what I want, and sometimes I don't. But lately, this year, I decided to divorce my wife. And at the time, I was like very, very upset with her. And then I decided to divorce her. And basically, like in short, what happened is that we were business partners. We got together when I was 19 and she was 18. And we've been together for just over 17 years, just under 18 years. And uh towards the last 5 years of our marriage, we just kind of became business partners. And I felt that way. She didn't feel that way, but I felt like we were just business partners. And I had like, I had mentioned to her about, I don't want to be business partners anymore. I just want you to be my wife. And she didn't take that very well, and she didn't want that. And um, there was a lot of like business mistakes that she had done behind my back where basically like she made us lose $7 million
Ooh,
on specific deals where I told
wow.
her not to do it, and
Mm.
she did anyway. And then she also forged my signature on about $10 million worth of debt.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of like it really got to me, and I was very upset because anyway, it just wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
And so the $7 million loss was one thing. We got through that. I got through it.
Hmm.
Um, one of them I ended up solving. Wasn't like the best outcome, but I solved it. And so having that off my back and having the relief from that,
Hmm.
where it was costing us not only there was the loss of like 4 million, but the rest of it was in a piece of property where it was just like completely underperforming,
Mm.
and it was
Hmm.
costing us like $80,000 a month.
Hmm.
Uh, and anyway, so I solved that. So now we moved past the $7 million loss.
Hmm.
Uh, and that was like in July where I just like I was. finally like more at peace and more forgiving and more like, okay, it's done, and we were like kind of fighting a lot between the beginning of the year and through July. And we still have other real estate, and she wasn't like making the mortgage payments. Anyway, there was just a lot of things that she was doing that I didn't agree with, and it's just not how I like to conduct business. But she just kind of felt like she wanted to light everything on fire, I guess, just to get a reaction out of me and everything. But so with that being said, I'm still dealing with the $10 million debt situation. Um, so I guess like fast forward, I'm at a point where I'm very like I'm forgiving, and I'm getting over it. And the reason why I say it is because when I filed for divorce, it was back in April, like late April. But now I'm not sure that I want to divorce her. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to gain clarity. The other thing, and I'll finally get to the point here, but the other thing is in May, I thought like it was so crazy. Like usually I'm like love at first sight type of person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And from the time that I met my wife, it was love at first sight. And like I did everything to get her. I was like weighing about like a little over 200 pounds. I lost weight. I got rid of my glasses, got contacts, I got braces, I got a job, bought myself a car. It was a Lexus. And I come like my parents are like poor, so
Mm-hmm.
my butt off. It took me about a year, just a little over a year. And then I finally like went back to her. I smoothed her up and I got her and I was so happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, 17 years later, this happens. And so like I don't have feelings like that where like I fall in love like that. But when I do, it's like meant to be. It's like even when I met her, it was like I knew that was gonna be my wife.
Mm-hmm.
It was like right away I knew it. It was like a feeling and like a voice in one, where it was just
Mm-hmm.
like I just knew. And I
Great.
had I had that peace over it where it was like she had a boyfriend at the time, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's okay. Like there's work I got to do, and then I'm gonna come back and it's gonna happen. So then in May, I meet this other girl where I felt the same way. In fact, it was like at a party, and I walk around the bar, and I heard that voice, and it was like, turn around. And I turned around, and she was looking right at me. And we just had like this moment of eye contact. And then I looked away. I went out to the backyard, and I was just admiring the Miami city view.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was with my friend, and I turn around, and she comes out the sliding door, and she's like walking towards us, and I heard the voice again, like, that's her. That's the one. And it was just like I got like excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Then about a month later, I took her out on a date. It was like me and two friends, and then her and two other friends. That it was like three girls and three guys. I took her
Mm-hmm.
to Miami Opens, like a tennis matches,
Mm-hmm.
and we hit it off. We dated for like 2 months, and then like we just like stopped talking. And then I was like kind of distraught about I was a little upset that like that happened, and I felt like a major loss. But anyway, so then that happened, and then I'm still kind of going through the divorce, and I'm midway through. Her name was Sophia. Midway me and Sophia's relationship, I filed for divorce with Brooke. And so anyway, so me and Sophia, we like stopped talking, and then I continued solving those issues, and then I finally solved them. And then I had just had like more clarity and peace over it, and I didn't have that stress on me. And then I just like was like regretting a lot of things because I have two kids with her. And I just felt like, wow, like I literally broke up our family because I was so stressed. I was so confused. I was so angry. I just like, I felt so stupid because I'm like, how can this happen to us? Like, we know better. We know better than to get ourselves in these situations. Like we're too smart for that. But here we are. And and so yeah, so like now, we're still going through divorce, and she's definitely amplified and is now pushing for the divorce, which I started, but when I first started the divorce, she didn't want to. And
Mm-hmm.
she was like still trying to like, get me back and everything, but I just was
Mm-hmm.
not in the headspace to like want to be back. I
Mm-hmm.
just needed to, I guess I needed all this stuff to happen for me to like sort of be like ground myself and understand
Mm-hmm.
where are we now, versus having a lot of uncertainty. But so now I guess like what kind of brought me here is like, I've been like so confused. I mean, everything from, breaking up my family, breaking up with Brooke, a lot of changes. We were together for 17 years. We moved from Washington. We lived there pretty much all our lives, but then 3.5 years ago, we moved to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were here together for 3 years. Um, and then this year, she moved back to Washington. And then, well, now she lives in Arizona. She moved there like a month ago, but she went back to Washington, and then I stayed here. And I was just continuing to explore other opportunities, like business opportunities. And I found some. And so I just started like working on those. But like basically, I just feel like going from the breakup to being by myself to then meeting this girl to then like we break up to then I solve these issues to now I'm like, shoot, like my family, I like really, really miss them. And then, trying to talk to Brooke about like, okay, hold on, let's like, there's still some things we got to figure out, like the debt. But now she's not in a space of wanting to talk to me. And so now it's like, it's in the lawyer's hands, which is really tough. Because now it's like I just feel confused and I'm like looking for clarity. And usually like I'm really good about just like praying and receiving clarity and receiving peace and like understanding and wisdom and like, being encouraged that like I have enough knowledge to overcome. But like lately, I just feel like it's just gone. And it's like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I've been so stressed out. Like, I'm not sleeping. Um, I don't know what to do anymore. And it's like, I don't, and I guess like, I feel like with my intuition, like I see things and I feel called, but then I'm not sure what to make of it anymore. And so it's like it's not happening the way I thought, or is it my energy that's changing that path, or like it's like what am I doing wrong? Now I feel like versus before I was like very confident, like it's okay. I know it's not going to go, you know, perfectly, but it's going to happen and I'm just going to trust the process. But lately I've been feeling like I don't trust the process anymore and I feel lost and I feel confused. And it's like, why did all these things happen the way they happened? And it's like, I just feel like I feel like this year I've suffered a lot of loss to where it's like even even like my guidance has been lost. And it's like I don't know what's happening anymore or why it's happening. And so yeah, that's kind of like I feel like I just need to regain my composure or something, to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
get rebalanced.
Awesome. Okay. So the bottom line is you were ready for a huge growth spurt. And whenever you're ready for a huge growth spurt, the divine, in their infinite wisdom, tends to shake things up a lot. And it forces us to reevaluate where we are and what we're truly committed to and what we truly want. So I can give you a quick, immediate shift. It's up to you to maintain it. And if we work together, I'll be able to help you truly integrate it into your body so you recalibrate. I have a whole coaching program that I do called the Inner Power Protocol. And I don't know if you've heard this story before, but I just want to share it with you because I'm being told that by the divine that you need to hear it. A few months ago, I was in my kitchen doing dishes. And I was just thinking about how sometimes you're working on something and it's really easy. It's no big deal. Everything's comes together and it's a breeze. It's a snap. But then other times you're working on a project and it's freaking impossible. You hit roadblock, challenge, issue, problem. Ugh. It was just so frustrating. I was wondering, why does that happen? And I immediately felt and heard a very loud, forceful voice in my body that said, when you deny your power is denied to you. When you acknowledge your power is shown to you. You are more powerful than you can imagine. I immediately wiped my hands off and I went and wrote it down. I'm like, shoot, what am I doing to deny my power? I don't want to be doing that anymore. Sorry, I won't do that anymore. And after a while, I realized that sometimes the words I use are subtly undermining my power. And so now I avoid saying, I want to, I need to, I will try to. All of those are very tentative. They're not a firm decision. Now I say, I choose to, I intend to, I am, because that really expresses the power that I have. There's more to it. There are actually 5 powers of abundance. And when I work with somebody, I take them through that so they embed it into their system and they're able to really live that with ease and grace and joy. If we work together, that's great. Happy to do that. In the meantime, I want to help release where you are right now. And instead of viewing it as a burden, I invite you to view it as a gift. Now, it's a gift you haven't quite figured out. How the hell is this a blessing? Doesn't look like a blessing to me. And that's okay. Temporarily, it doesn't look like a blessing. What it has done is get you to be aware. That's what our emotions are really there for. Because when you're going along and everything's happy, fine, la, 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 no big deal, you're not really paying that much attention. You're just chopping wood, carry water over and over again. It's the same old routines. It's when the stuff hits the fan that we suddenly go, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's really important to me? What am I truly committed to? So the only purpose in this entire experience was for the divine to capture your attention, your awareness, so you would be aware of what really, really matters to you. So I want you to put your hand on your heart. And think for a moment about when you have felt really peaceful and centered and that life was so good. You're just absolutely in awe of life. You're just so grateful for every moment. And it's the little moments. It's hanging out with coffee. It's playing with the kids. It's just simple things. They're not big. They're not this massive win. It's just that wonderful sensation, that connection with the God of your understanding. It's that deep inner knowing that all is well. All is well. And I want you to tap back into that because you've had that experience many times throughout your life. You know this intimately. Your body knows it. There's a lot of muscle memory there, as well as emotional memory and mental recall. So just sink back into that sensation. Your heart knows this. Your mind is doing the best it can with the information that it has, but sadly, the mind has limited access to information. It can only work off of what it has already experienced. You are choosing to go into your heart and reconnect with God, with the divine, realign with that deep inner knowing, that wonderful, delicious comfort and awareness that all is well. You don't have to immediately understand it. You know, it might wobble back and forth a little bit, and all is well. Just like a top spinning, it is clearly spinning on its axis. It is firmly rooted, and you are spinning around it, enjoying the ride. Feel the sensation right now. Now, as you're feeling the sensation, three words come to your mind that really encapsulate this sensation for you. They are your words and they are perfect. What are the three words that capture this sensation?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah,
Fun, exciting, adventurous.
that is very interesting because all the experiences that you have described to me in some ways are fun because you're challenging yourself to grow in new ways. The divine is challenging you to grow in new ways. And as somebody who likes adventure, that's kind of fun for you. And it makes life more exciting and interesting and engaging. It grabs your attention. Now, the most powerful state of being that I've ever encountered is what I call grateful curiosity. So when you step into grateful curiosity, you're immediately engaged, you're enthralled, you're curious, you're eager. You don't have all the answers. You know you don't have all the answers yet. And you're welcoming in all these beautiful blessings that are about to unfold for you in perfect divine timing and be revealed to you. And the joy is in witnessing their unfolding, discovering what's there for you that you didn't realize before. This is new ground. You had a level of facility with your intuition, with your connection with God, and that has never left you. You got distracted for a bit with your adventure, and now you've tapped back into it. It is always there for you, it's always present. Those five powers of abundance are your birthright. You already have them, you already own them. It's just we get busy and distracted and we forget. And then we think, oh, I don't have any power. This is happening to me. This is such a pain. And then when we remember our power and we start owning it, you're actually collaboratively creating your life with the God of your understanding. You are a full partner in this. Now, one other story that I need to share with you. Are you familiar with a practice called the 7 day mental diet? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I heard you talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just remind you really quickly. I was doing it and hitting all kinds of roadblocks and stuff and kind of pissed off, sat down, connected with the divine, said, what the hell? I'm trying to be positive and you're not helping. And the message I got was, we are guiding you and you are guiding us. Every time you see something that you don't know how to fix, it can be anything. It could be the homeless situation. It could be a natural disaster somewhere. It could be an international conflict. You just don't know how to fix it. The situation with your wife, you don't know how to fix it. We expect you to immediately envision everyone involved or impacted two energetic levels above where they are right now. Right now, they're in the flames. We expect you to envision them as the phoenix, whole, healed, thriving, sending them love and blessings so that we can support them. We are guiding you and you are guiding us. Now, I've got a very specific method for my intentions. I learned from Lynn McTaggart. She's absolutely brilliant. She's got all this scientific studies that she's done about intentions, and they really, really work. And then I got some divine downloads to create my own version of an intention. I always start with in love and light because to me, it's acknowledging that the God of your understanding is an active participant in helping you create this experience, and they're going to make it happen. That's why it's kind of like typing into a spiritual GPS. So it's, hey, thanks so much for joining us. Glad you could be here. Then that's what it is to me because I experience the divine as my BFF. I mean,
Yeah.
finishing each other's sentences, inside jokes, teasing. I mean, they're very playful, they're very silly with me because that's the kind of relationship I want. You get to
Yeah.
choose what kind of relationship you want. Okay? So, I love that.
How
Hey,
do
so
you
glad you could make it. Hmm?
how do you choose?
You have a conversation with the divine. You say, I love you. I'm so excited to collaborate with you and co create with you. And here's the kind of relationship I really would enjoy savoring with you. I want us to be able to have these ongoing conversations where I can sit down to journal and you just tell me stuff. I want to feel you in my heart. I want to be able to send love and blessings on to people that I've never met before and I will never know. But just send them love and blessings and know that you are getting where I'm coming from and you are supporting me in that endeavor. This is how I want to roll. And I so appreciate your support and guidance to get there. Then you trust because the divine knows, they totally know, and they're happy to support you. Okay. So, in love and light, thanks for joining us. We are so happy and grateful. I am so happy and grateful. It sets the emotional tone. It immediately entrains you with infinite intelligence, with the divine, with God, immediately. There is no separation. In love and light, thanks for being here. I am so happy and grateful that, and then whatever it is you choose to create, a loving, harmonious relationship with my wife and my kids. So we are all thriving and happy and abundant and prosperous. And we experience this upheaval as one of the biggest blessings for our relationship. If that resonates for you, and again, you'll have this recording. I'm just stream of consciousness here, whatever the
Okay.
divine tells
Okay.
me to say.
Okay.
It needs to come from your heart. It needs to feel like you, that this is what you want to create. Okay. And then I say, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because I'm really grateful. And then I say, it is done as a reminder to me, I'm done typing in the spiritual GPS. Hands off. I don't have to keep harping on it. I'm
Do
good.
you eat it daily or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Every day. Repeat that. Then here's the tricky part. You get to focus your attention on everything that aligns with your intention. Because all the stuff you don't like is there at the same time as all the stuff you do like. And the stuff you don't like, it grabs your attention so easily. It's really easy to get ticked off and not happy and blah, 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 right? And instead, you can choose to be happy and grateful for everything that shows up and interpret everything as a sign that you are on the right track with your intention.
And how do I for example, lately I've been feeling scared,
Mhm.
very scared. There's just a lot of things that have happened where it's like, oh my God, this means like a major change in my life. And it just seems very scary. And at the same time, like I feel like usually when I've trusted myself or I trust like my gut, I guess, so to speak, it's like I didn't know, like it seemed so right to where it's like, how come the opposite happened? Where it was like it was right and then it wasn't, and then it's like confusing, and sometimes I'll even like, be talking to some of my business partners where it's like, okay, this specific deal or whatever, or certain things where it's like I know. I just have that knowing. And it's strange. I can't explain it. It's just like I just know. And then like that's what comes up inside me. And then it's like that's not what happened. Or I shouldn't say it's not what happened, but it's like that's not what's happening. And it's like, wait, what, how come? Like, I feel like my internal GPS was off. Was like, how come I knew that? It seemed like I felt it, I heard it. And usually when the reason why is like before it felt like it would happen the way I thought. And I'll give you a quick example too. Like when my first son was when my wife was pregnant with my first son, um we went in to get like the ultrasound, and the lady was like, well, he's gonna have Down syndrome because the kidney and this measurement and that measurement just didn't add up. Anyway, let's prepare. Here's some some schools, here's some things you can do to prepare. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, listen, we're not gonna repeat this to anyone. In fact, it's not true. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to ignore it, and it's not a fact. And like we just reject that. And I told her, I'm like, look, we're not going to prepare for it. I think it's too soon. And I'm like, how many times do you have this conversation with people? And she's like, about 50% of the time. And I'm like,
What?
okay, well, we're not gonna prepare for it. And I think we're just gonna like wait and see what happens. We left it alone, never talked about it. He came out perfectly healthy, but I knew, like I wasn't afraid. And at that moment, I was like, oh my God, my first child is gonna have Down syndrome. But and I was like, no, no, I'm not. It's just it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
But then other times, like for example, just the earliest one, like that girl I was telling you about, I
Mhm.
thought it was so strange because I'm like, how crazy is it that like I separate from my wife, and then not even a month later, this girl, I mean, I'm in Miami, there's a lot of beautiful girls, but like I just have this like specific feeling where like how I met her, and it was like the voice, I mean, the whole thing, just the way it was with Brooke. And so it was like, this is her. Like maybe that, like I started sort of connecting the dots, and I'm like, maybe I was supposed to separate with my wife. Maybe it was just maybe that thing was just over, we had a good run and now this, and then that didn't work. Didn't work after like a few months. And then I was like, that's so strange. Like I'm so confused. It was like I heard the voice, like everything was like going the way it happened. Then just one day, and so it leaves me now to where it's like I don't trust myself anymore. I don't
Mhm.
trust that voice anymore. I don't get
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And then
You're
if I
going
say something, it's like, and it doesn't happen, it's like, wait, but like, how come I felt it? So now I'm like, okay, do I just not say anything? Do I just, I don't know. Like, I just feel a little confused and
I
scared.
totally get where you are right now because you used to have unshakable confidence
Hmm.
and now you're questioning.
Yep.
What
Big
you're
time.
questioning is your relationship with God. It's not your relationship with yourself. You're questioning that alignment with God and that message that's coming through. Is this real or is this what I want and I'm making it up? And I'm pretending and I'm projecting it into the space, but it's not real. Now, remember, you
I
are
feel like I made a lot of
co-creating,
bad decisions.
you're co-creating with the divine. So when you're in alignment with the divine and then you set your intention, that's just like typing into a spiritual GPS, and your attention, you're guided to the tools, the resources, the people, all the stuff that aligns with your intention. So if your intention is, I got to make a fast buck, that might not be the intention that God really is driving you towards, because in your heart, you were talking about what you truly, truly wanted and what felt like you were in alignment. It was fun. It was adventure. It was, I'm forgetting the third word, exciting.
Exciting.
And isn't this an adventure right now? Learning how to trust yourself again? Doesn't feel like fun, but it is very exciting.
Yeah. And scary.
if you choose to view it as scary. Now, one of the things I want you to do is think really closely about the words that you're using, because there was actually a study done. They wanted to look at what anxiety looks like. And so they got a bunch of people together, went to a roller coaster. They hooked everybody up to medical sensors. They could do the pulse, they could measure the sweat on the hands and all that. And it turns out that people who are terrified of roller coasters have the exact same physical symptoms of people who are exhilarated by roller coasters. They're in eager anticipation with roller coasters. Looks exactly the same to the body, same symptoms. It's up here that says, oh, I'm anxious, or hey, this is really exciting. I'm in eager anticipation. This is going to be fun. So instead of saying, I'm scared about this, I really doubt myself, I invite you to lean into trust, trust with the divine. I trust myself. I trust messages I receive. I trust the guidance that's coming through. I know I am divinely guided at all times to the right resources, the right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances. And I trust everything is showing up for me exactly the way it needs to. And it's not a direct line, it's not a straight line. There are like wiggles and hops and skips and jumps because I like fun and adventure and keeping it exciting. I don't want a straight line, that's boring.
And to trust myself, how do I like how do I understand between the times where I did trust myself and then I experienced like like major loss, like whether it was a person or like financially or
Mm-hmm.
like even even like my family where it was like, oh my God, what did I do? Like it was like did I make a bad decision or was it supposed to go this way? Like I sometimes I'm just kind of like, wait, like now it's just not adding up to me anymore. And usually it does. Like I was on a TV show and I remember I told my wife, I was like, if we lose weight, we're gonna be on TV. And she was like, what? Seriously? I was like, yeah, I feel it. Like I know it. 4 years later, it didn't seem real, to be honest. Like it just, I was like, I just have this feeling. I just know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like it wasn't like I was like proactively like searching to be on a show. And then one day, we get pulled up on stage in front of 5,000 people. We did this little talk thing for like 10 minutes. And then we got approached to be on a TV show. And it
Nice.
was just like it was like I literally had that the same thing I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
the thought, the voice, the feeling, just all in
Mm-hmm.
one. Like it was like multiple messages like crunched and just popped in my head, and I knew it wasn't me. And you know we ended up, and so like that's been my experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year it was like everything seemed to kind of be going on track until the middle of like about June, where it was like, wait, everything I thought, everything that like it was like we were on track or I was on track to then now I'm off the track, it felt like. And now it's like, wow, like I don't know where I'm going, what is going on. Like it just completely got derailed. Like, did I make a bad move? Did I make a bad decision? And it's like, how do I know if it was like, is this meant to be? Was my life supposed to go this way? Or was it my own doing? Like, something I did wrong
So
that
we always have free choice, always. We have free will. And you're very trapped in your head right now. You're trying to understand, you're trying to solve it intellectually. And I'm trying to guide you to go into your heart because your heart is where you connect with God, not your mind.
okay.
And you may not ever understand why it happened the way it did. And that does not matter. What matters is how you are showing up right now. Your presence right now is the most powerful power you have. It starts with presence. Then you get the other four powers. But until you master presence and really being present for yourself first and for others second, yeah, you flounder. So I can't go into it a whole lot more with you right now, just because we're talking about a more lengthy conversation. But I hope that this was a little helpful, that it
Very.
steered you in the right direction. First of all, let go of the emotion around it. I know this is challenging to do. Let go of the emotion around it, because emotion is caused by judgment. Judgment is caused by beliefs. You have a belief, my inner knowing is always there for me and it's always right on. And then all of a sudden, oops, it didn't work. It looks like it didn't work. I have a judgment that it didn't work. Maybe it did, and you just don't know it yet, but it looks like it didn't work. So now I have all these emotions about why isn't it working? So what I want you to do is do Ho'oponopono, the four statements. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Over and over and over again. What you are doing is you are forgiving
Myself?
yourself. I beg your pardon?
Oh, sorry, to myself.
To yourself about the situation. Whenever you think of, like, you think of your wife and you're upset and you're frustrated with the situation, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And as long as you feel the tension dissipating, what you're dissolving is the tension inside you and any energy that you brought to create that tension. You can't fix anybody else, but you fix you. And what you will notice, the message that I got from our intention, as you fix yourself inside, your external world is automatically fixed. That's how it works. It's always an inside to outside job, always. So with Ho'oponopono, you just keep doing it until you feel that release of energy. What I like to do is remind myself that with every single inhale, I'm doing Ho'oponopono. With every exhale, I'm doing Ho'oponopono. In fact, set a timer for 5 minutes and just do that in your mind. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And what you're doing is you're forgiving yourself for having an experience and choosing not to interpret it as love, to interpret it as something that's a pain in the butt, that's inconvenient. I don't like this. I've got judgment around it. So it's creating all these emotions and I'm stressed out about it. So you're forgiving yourself for receiving something and not interpreting it as love. And then with every exhale, you're forgiving yourself for those times when you didn't necessarily show up as love and compassion in the way you communicated with other people and with yourself. That's often the biggest challenge people have, is remembering to be kind, polite, and supportive to themselves. So that exercise will center you, ground you, release all of that tension, all of that stress, all of that confusion, because we're getting out of the mind and back into the heart. Ho'oponopono for 5 minutes, every inhale, every exhale. Then set your intention. Intention, spiritual GPS. Write it out. Say it out loud. Feel the vibration. Hold your hand on your heart as you say it, because you feel the physical vibration. Now, top tip, you want to hold it for 78 seconds. And it turns out that if you do 5 deep breaths in and you hum as you exhale, holding one note, it takes about 78 seconds to do that. 5 breaths in a row. Inhale, hum as long as you can. Inhale, hum as long as 5 times in a row. And it takes you really deep. As you're holding that intention, it takes you really, really deep. And I invite you to journal at that point. Notice any messages that come through, and then focus your attention on everything that aligns with your intention. Project what you want to experience into the experience before you have it. So, for example, do Ho'oponopono for the meeting you're about to have. Hold an intention for the meeting you're about to have, for all of the people who are going to be involved or impacted.
So let's
Then
say
have the meeting.
let's say I have a hearing on Wednesday,
Hmm.
with the divorce,
Hmm.
and I want to do that before the hearing, and
Hmm.
then what intention, what kind of intention would I set for that?
What do you want to get out of the hearing? What is the
Clarity.
purpose of the hearing?
So it's a restraining order. She filed a restraining order in Washington, so I couldn't speak to the kids or her. She's very hurt by all this. Um, and also to take my guns away. And so the judge had said that you can't block me from like not talking to the kids. So that got removed and also my guns. But I guess the hearing is more going to be about whether me and her can have contact or not. And so I feel like with the restraining order, it's like this is going not in a great direction versus having no restraining order. At least, there's still room for communication. So if the restrainer goes in effect, then we break communication. Like, is that gonna steer us into a worse position or a
So,
better?
have you tried couples counseling?
We have before, and in fact, she tried also when we first separated before I filed. She tried really hard.
Hmm.
I was not in a space to entertain any counseling. I was just so focused on getting us out of these problems, getting us out of the issues that I felt like she created, and so on and so on. But then afterwards, now that I want it, she doesn't want it. So yeah, she tried and we didn't.
So, you are at another phase of the relationship,
Yeah.
and you may not get back together again.
Hmm.
You might not. If you can release all of the resentment, all of the anxiety, all of the frustration on both sides, is that of value?
Yeah.
So you both have inner peace, forgiveness. What happened is just what happened. And now you're in a new space, a new presence. You're not in each other's lives on a daily basis, but you can be cordial, you can be polite, and you wish each other the best.
Mhm.
Is that something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Let me work up an intention and I'll take a stab at it. And then you edit it to make sure that it sounds like you, because it's always easier to start from scratch or to edit than it is to start from scratch. Hold on, I'm turning on chat. Okay.
On clarity about our relationship, like I'm second guessing if we were ever meant to split up, if we're supposed to split up,
Well,
or
again, think about what happens with a brand new relationship. With a brand new relationship, you connect, you decide if there's a lot in common, and if you're interested in spending more time together. You've just come back full bore to the very beginning of the relationship. You went all in to win her the first time. Believe
Mhm,
me, if you want her back, you're going to have to go all in this time, all in.
mhm.
And she's not going to believe you and she's not going to trust you for a while. So if you can get back to that mutual respect, that will shift a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let me see. In love and light, I hold the intention that Brooke and I welcome infinite divine love that returns us to a space of loving acceptance and mutual regard so we can support each other with grace, ease, and love.
I love that. I love that.
So, what I want you to do, try the Ho'oponopono, do it tonight before you get to bed, do it tomorrow morning, and read the intention and do the humming. And I know the humming feels weird, but believe it or not, you're activating a lot of vibration throughout your body. You're aligning all your chakras and you're getting really, really deep with the divine, really deep. So the intention is just like your vibrational signal that you're sending out. And then when you start your attention and you're focused on whatever it is you're doing through the day, you notice how this aligns, right? And so what will happen is you'll be going through things and you'll think, wow, when I was doing a project like this with Brooke, she did this and that was so helpful. That was really amazing. I loved her insights around this kind of thing and how she would do this. And it always made me laugh. And I totally forgot about that. I
Mhm.
completely forgot about that aspect of our relationship. One more thing, you know about the five love languages, right?
Yes.
Use them, all of them.
On myself.
Use them on yourself and use them on her and use them on your kids. Your kids are stressing out a lot about this.
Mhm.
And you can let them know that this is a huge growth curve that you're going through right now. And
Mhm.
you're not sure exactly what's going on, and you believe it's designed to deepen and enrich the love that you all share, to expand, deepen, and enrich the love that we share. And yeah, it's one heck of a game here. It's one heck of a process that we're going through to remember how much we value, appreciate, and respect each other and care about each other, truly care about each other.
Have you ever experienced something where like you feel, for example, this, right? Like this is expanding, it's deepening and enriching our relationship, like it's doing that, but then something happens where it's like it more or less sort of
Well,
just
again, you don't
like it.
control anybody else. You only control yourself and you
Uh-huh.
speak what you want into existence.
Okay.
So you acknowledge how other people are feeling. It's perfectly fine for them to feel the way they do. Brooke feels betrayed. She feels overwhelmed. She feels besieged. She feels whatever she feels.
Mhm.
And she's entitled to feel exactly what she feels.
Mhm.
And you can appreciate the challenges that she's experiencing because she feels this way, right?
Mhm.
And allow her to be where she is. You work on your energy. And it's really weird what happens. The more you work on your energy, you use Ho'oponopono to clear it, you focus on that intention, you recommit. Everything that I'm experiencing is here to deepen, expand, and enrich the love we share. Everything I'm experiencing. Even the doubts, it's to get me to recommit to my intention over and over again, over and over and over again. If I have to say it every 5 minutes, I will. I will, because this is where I'm going.
I
And you
love
change
that.
your vibration and things shift. And you can be very open with your kids. If you're not able to speak with her, be very open with your kids and say, I am challenged by this and I'm learning from this. And this is my intention and this is where I'm going. Maybe I'm not there yet, and it's fine if you're not there yet. You be you. And I honor and respect you. And whatever you're doing, do what's right for you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm there for you. When you're really ready, I'm there for you. And then let them be. Just know that I'm sending you love and blessings every single day. and send them love and blessings. The divine knows what to do. The divine knows what they need. You work on you. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, I know it's getting kind of late there. So I'm going to let you go. I want you to go ahead and have your meeting on Wednesday after having done Ho'oponopono and use this intention.
Okay.
And if you reach out to your kids, say, look, I'm focused on this intention. And as far as I'm concerned, everything that we're going through is there to enrich, expand, and deepen our love and mutual regard. And yeah, it's been a pretty bumpy ride. Sorry about that, but that's where I'm going.
Mhm.
And then see what happens on Wednesday. Just see what happens
Okay.
and get in touch with me. And if you would like to work together, we can talk about what that looks like.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to. So, do you want me to schedule another call with you afterwards and then we go from there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to. I've had like a lot of supernatural things happen in my life where it's like stuff like this. I know it's true. I know it's real. And it's like I know I just gotta like recalibrate and get back, into it. So anyway, yeah, I love that. This has been incredible.
Okay. One last thing. I swear I'll let you go.
No, no, I could be out here all night. Trust me. I
I
could be
can't
out here
let him
all
go yet.
night.
Okay. So there's a great book out there called Hiring the Heavens. Love this book. It's tiny, it's short form, it's skinny. It's not a very big book at all. It's called Hiring the Heavens. And the basic message in the book is there's gazillions of angels out there and they are bored to flipping tears. They can help you, but only if you ask them to. And it's best if you talk to them out loud. You don't have to, but it's best if you do. So, one of the very first things I do every day, I hire an attitude adjustment angel for myself first. So, I tend to look on the bright side. I tend to notice all the blessings in my life. I tend to be very optimistic and upbeat and supportive. I hire an attitude adjustment angel for myself first. And then I hire attitude adjustment angels for every single person I'm going to be in contact with today. I don't even have to know who that is. It could be a grocery store clerk. I just hired these attitude adjustment angels. And what happens is you end up having really great conversations with everybody. And you can't really justify it. Hire attitude adjustment angels when you're going places because they will streamline traffic. They'll find you great parking spots. They will help you come up with great ideas when you're in the middle of a business meeting. You can hire a business angel. One of the stories in the book, this woman had done the training about hiring the heavens, and she was out in her yard gardening for like 2 hours. And she went in to make lunch and she was washing her hands and realized that she'd lost the stone in her ring. And she was like, oh no, I was all over the garden. I have no idea where that stone is. So she hired a jewelry detective angel to bring the stone to her. Her dog came in just a few minutes later and spat it out in her hand.
What? My God, how awesome is that?
Now, I love sharing angels with people who don't believe it. They think it's totally bullshit. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, just try this out, see what you think. It freaks them out because it really works. Those angels know a thing or two, but fair warning, they have a real sense of humor. I was at the grocery store and I got in my car and I'm like, okay, angels, I want a nice, easy, safe trip home. I'm only one exit away on the freeway. So I merged onto the freeway really slowly. It turned out there were two different accidents. So I crawled at like 5 miles an hour the whole way there. It was very safe. It was very easy, but it was not very fast. And I'm like, little no goodness. Shame on you. And they're like, yeah, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. They do have a sense of humor. So
Yeah.
make sure you maintain yours.
Okay.
Awesome.
You got it.
Christian,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Lynn. Thank you so much.
This has already been healed. You do know that, right?
Already done.
It's already been healed. It's already complete. It's already perfect. All the blessings are coming through. Not only are you blessed and receiving blessings, everybody involved, everybody impacted is receiving blessings. Make sure that you are blessing the lawyers, everybody involved or impacted, everybody,
And how do you bless
everybody.
them? You just
You just
say,
say blessings to everyone involved or impacted.
okay.
Blessings. Because it's really easy to be resentful of certain people. Don't do
Mhm.
that. Don't go there. Just stay calm, stay centered, stay grounded, and silently. You can do Ho'oponopono. You can send love and blessings silently. You can hire angels silently. Just stay in your space, stay in your vibration, stay in your heart.
Okay.
All is well.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Been a true blessing. Thank you.
Back at you. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you.